Welcome, everyone. It's lovely to see. Thank you for the two Tracys for putting your cameras on. That's always encouraging. It must be something in the name. And you both got red hair. Oh my goodness. But we are really excited to have you joining us today. Thank you so much for carving out some time in your lunchtime. This is one of my master classes that I think is most close to my heart, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it soon. So as you'll see, you are joining on mute, and I appreciate that your cameras are on. And so if you could remain on mute, that'll be really helpful while we record our conversation, because we do want to share that afterwards. And then once we're finished chatting, we will ask you to unmute yourselves if there's anything you'd like to share or any questions that you have. So for those of you who don't know me, when I'm not doing this, which is just one of my favorite things in the world, I'm training companies on how to attract and select the best people for their teams. And perhaps that's a little bit of how Rele and I got to meet, but we'll talk more about that now. So I just really love these times because it's a little bit of a deep dive into people's stories. And I think we can learn so much from one another's stories. It's not about how much experience we have or how old we are or any of those things. It's really just about our individual journeys and how those can inspire others. So I am particularly excited to have our masterclass with Relia today. And the reason is also because we met in such an unusual way. So I went back and I looked into my LinkedIn messaging, and I saw that on the 23rd of May this year, which is not that long ago, Relebogile Lebitsa sent me a message, and I didn't know who she was. And it says, "Hi, Jane. I admire your work. I'm a recent IT grad and would love your advice on job interviews. Possible, could you kindly review my CV and share feedback? I would really appreciate it." So I looked at that, and I know that many of us get messages on LinkedIn, and many of us get messages from people we don't know. And I like to go to someone's profile and see a little bit more about them. And when I landed on Rele's profile, I just fell in love with her. I thought, this woman is already one of my heroes. So, really, before I talk too much about our message, please will you share a little bit about what you're doing at the moment and what inspired you to write that message? Because I'm sure I wasn't the only one you were sending messages to like that. And welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. M, and thank you everybody for joining. I am so honored that you guys took your time to come and listen to us. And currently, I am a software developer, and I'm also a founder of Asambe, which is a digital payment platform for the informal economy. And that's basically what I do on a day-to-day basis. And then what prompted me to send the message to Mrs. M is that at the
She
time
calls
I
me
was
Mrs. M, by the way. I feel like I'm in the James Bond movie.
it's really
Where
easy, Mrs. M. I think it's quite cool actually, and I'm glad you embraced that name. When I sent that message, actually, I was just scrolling through LinkedIn, and then a connection that I had, I was scrolling through their profile, and then I saw Mrs. M in the comments, and I'm like, she seems like she's very fun. So when I went to her profile and I saw that she's a talent expert, and I'm actually looking into trying to improve my CV and just applying for other jobs as well, I decided like, let me just reach out. At the time, to be honest, I wasn't reaching out to a lot of people, but Mrs. M struck me out and I was like, I should actually reach out because I think she's gonna answer. And then when I tried to send a message, the LinkedIn has that thing that limits you. So I had to make sure that my message gets straight to the point. And when she reads it, there's a call to action that says, okay, she needs something and this is how I might help. So that's how I decided, let me just send her a message. If she responds, then I'm very glad. And if she doesn't, that's also fine. Luckily, she responded. And that's how we got to meet. And it has been great ever since.
Oh, thank you, really. So I love the detail you've shared around how, if you're not on premium LinkedIn, then you really want to make sure that you put everything into the message when you're trying to connect with someone. And I think what really strikes me about this story and how it's impacted my life is I am so filled with joy because I now have a visual in my mind and in my heart of when Rele first connected with me on May the 23rd. And then we did connect, and I did want to help her seeing the great work that she does and being inspired by her vision for how she wants to serve communities and what she's doing with her skills and talents to do that. And how we then connected and we talked, and from there she just struck me as someone who is doing great things, and I need to tell more people about her. And being on the advisory board for women in tech, I thought no better place than to connect her with other women in tech. And so with one of the most wonderful people, Melissa Slaymaker, who you may know from Women in Tech South Africa and also reaching into global, we put Relay forward for the awards, which were in Johannesburg fairly recently. And those are awards for different achievements in technology by women at different life stages and with different capacities. So I nominated Relay for the Aspiring Teen Award. She won it. And in November, she is going to Paris for the Global Awards. So I think I just thought, wow, from one LinkedIn message on May the 23rd, Relebogile is now going to Paris to compete in the Global Awards for Women in Tech. And thank you, Lebogang. I am with you on those celebrations because, wow, what an achievement and how much courage that took. So, really, reaching out took initiative. So please tell us a little bit about your story in terms of, what your aspirations were, what you wanted to study, why you studied that, the work you did, and just how you have taken initiative along the way at different stages in your story. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I'm sure it's not the first time in your life that you took initiative.
Yes, actually, it goes all the way back into high school when I wanted to do architecture, and then my high school teacher was like, "No, don't do architecture for now because in South Africa there isn't like high employment when it comes to architecture. Just try to do IT and then see where it takes you, and then after you do architecture. Well, he actually saved me because I really like IT now, and I'm very glad that I'm in the tech space, right? And then I went to varsity. When I got to varsity, that was also an amazing experience. And I'd like to say in varsity we are offered like a lot of opportunities, right? But you'd find out that your peers wouldn't be like as interested as you are. In varsity, we used to have what they call BUS International, which is an international hackathon that happens with other universities, right? And then what would happen during the week whereby schools are off and it's time for holiday. So obviously, because it's a holiday, you'd be like, no, I'm going home. I want to spend time at home, you know. But at that time, I was like, no, I actually want to try this thing out and I want to see how it goes. And I attended that bus IT, and then that was one of the parts where I also took initiative to say, I'm going to do this, even though I don't know how it works or how it's going to go, but I'm going to do it. And then I did that. That was the start of me attending hackathons because another thing is I really love hackathons. I have a lot of skills that I wanted to develop, especially when it comes to whether it's pitching or it's speaking or networking with people. So I realized that when I present, I am very shy. And then I was like, nope, I need to work on that because people would be like, you present so well, but you shouldn't be so quick. So I had to do something that could get me in a path whereby I'm able to present and speak my thoughts perfectly, even if it's not perfectly, but I can be heard and the message can be understood, right? And then I also wanted to be able to network with other people. So that meant putting myself in uncomfortable spaces whereby I have no choice but to speak. So it was very important for me to make sure that you notice that you have these weaknesses. So it's very important for you to go out there and actually work on those skills. And that's actually what I've been doing all along. Even me working on my leadership skills, that's how I decided to focus on my own product as well, just so that I could also develop my leadership skills. And then reaching out to people who are much more experienced has also helped in a way because they get to guide me where I am struggling or where I'm not seeing like whether am I making progress or not. And it's also like reaching out to people like you who are also able to give guidance where it's needed as well. So initiative also doesn't necessarily mean that you have to um you just text once and then after that that's it, you're done. You have to be very consistent about it, right? It's those follow throughs, it's reaching out once again after some time to say, hey, I still doing great, this is what has been happening and this is how we can also go about it as well. So it's those small things that eventually
Mhm.
add up. It's like, you know how the avalanche goes, small, 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 and then it gets very big. So
Yes.
yes,
I love
yes,
that, really. And I think that's so inspiring and challenging to hear you say that initiative is not just about the easy bits and the bits we like, that you've deliberately put yourself in uncomfortable situations where something is a skill or an ability that you want to develop, but it's not your strength yet, but you want it to
hmm,
become your strength. So you're not trying to just coast along on the things that you know you're already good at. You're deliberately saying, I'm going to expose myself in a situation where I am forced to grow. And I think that's so inspiring because it's so tempting in life to just stay comfortable, isn't it?
yes, very, very,
Yes.
and it's a dangerous space to be in once you're very
Hmm.
comfortable.
Exactly. So I think it's wonderful to see how you have deliberately done that all along, and how even now with winning the award, that has also put you into a situation where you have to learn more skills now that perhaps you wouldn't have had to learn before or were aware you needed to learn. So, can you
That's
tell us a
true.
little bit more about your award and what that has done for your career, your mindset, and the new skills that you want to learn now?
Okay, that has actually been, it has been an interesting journey. Winning the award is like, for me, it was kind of getting recognition for the work that I did, right? But then at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, as much as it is validation, I wouldn't want people to be always seeking validation just because, like, um, if I'm doing something, then I need to get an award for it or I need to get recognition. Sometimes it's not all
Mm-hmm.
about that. You need to also have confidence in yourself so that in case those validation or things that are on the outside are not there, you're still able to believe in yourself, right? But then the award itself has impacted me so much, like it pushed something in me that said, you're doing great, you're on the right track, and you just need to keep going and just doing more. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got the award, like it was such a shocker. Oh my word. The way I cried that day, I remember Miss Erica, she's even here. She's like, "Ah." But yeah, that award was, it was really, it's really something I hold very, very close to my heart. And then it's just another reminder that even when things for me get difficult as well, it's for me to keep going, to keep pushing. And then it was also another reminder for me that I am inspiring other people as well. So I just need to
Mm-hmm.
keep doing it. But sometimes when I go to events, I'd get some people like, really, you're doing so good. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. It's really sweet. And then you're just like, just keep going. You inspire me. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yes, I'll keep doing that. I'll keep doing that. And then when it comes to working on new skills as well, again, it's about being able to talk to people, understanding people, and engaging in meaningful connections as well, and just understanding
Mm-hmm.
people and what they mean. And also, it's not directly giving mentorship, but in a way, it's people ask me for stuff like, hi, really, can you advise on this? And then I do that as well. So it has helped me a lot in terms of speaking, communicating, and um, being confident in spontaneous interviews. Like at first, I wouldn't be, but now I have to be. I have to understand what's happening. So it's
Mm-hmm.
that as well. But another thing is, it has taught me to be adaptable. At all times, you need to be very adaptable. When things happen, you just need to be ready.
Mm-hmm. I love that, Renee. And what really resonates I think with many people at any stage of life is that our joy and purpose in work cannot be complete if it's only inward, if it's only for me. And what do I get
Mm.
out of it? And I think what I'm really hearing you say is, yes, I've got this award. Yes, I've had this validation. But what is fulfilling is it's not just a pat on the back for me. It's about how do I inspire others? How do I help others grow? And young as you are and starting off as you are in your career, you're already starting to look for other people you can encourage and other people that you can mentor. So tell us a little bit about that. How you are already, you mentioned earlier that you're already doing something this Friday, I think.
Yes. So I believe in doing anything with what you have in that moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say someone out there is like, no, I'm looking for a job, but I don't have these skills. They just have that self-doubt, right? Don't doubt yourself. Just apply. You never know what's gonna happen. Just apply, right? And then with me, I am still very much new in the IT space. I just graduated this year, right? But with the skills that I have at the moment, I'm trying to use them as much as I possibly can. Where I can help, you'll see me helping, you'll see me being out there and trying to help, even though I'm not well versed as other people might be. But the fact that I'm also trying to help and I'm making someone's day, for me, that's a lot for me. And I'm really looking forward to that. Like, can't wait to be mentoring other people and just giving them valuable advice that's going to help them with their own development and their own journey if they have any other questions, you know.
Hmm. I love that, really. So this Friday, it's a hackathon. And did you
Yes.
sign up for that, or did you see, was somebody asking for help? How did you get involved in mentoring at a hackathon?
Great question. Actually, it's one of the hackathons that I used to attend. There's a company called Geek Culture, and Geek Culture usually
Hmm.
posts about a lot of hackathons, right? So I would
Hmm.
like to also say that they gave me a very good start when it comes to hackathons because they used to host them a lot. And then every time you come, they just hype you up. And then fortunately enough, I got to win some of their hackathon. And then now they're able to invite me and say, hey Relay, would you like to become a mentor to this hackathon? We're looking for mentors and we think you would be a great fit. I'm like, I would be honored. I would be honored because they also helped
Hmm.
me shape, like they also helped shape me. So I think it's also
Hmm.
kind of giving back as well and just keeping the momentum going. I think we also once
Hmm.
spoke about how one small action leads to ripple effects. So just
Hmm.
because you help me, that also means I'm going to help like even more people. And then now it's just a cycle whereby people just help each other, you know.
Hmm.
So yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
that is inspiring, really. And I love that thought as well. And thank you for your encouragement that you've highlighted how when any of us help one person, it's not just helping one person. It's that person then goes out and helps more. And it is that constant giving back that I really appreciate and respect you're doing at every stage of your life. You're not waiting until I'm finished my studies now, or I'm kind of at the job title that I wanted to have and dreamed to have. You're like, no, what can I do with what I have now? And I really
yes,
love that about you so much.
yes.
Now,
Thank
tell us
you.
a little bit more about Asambe. And yeah, I don't know if anyone knows about that, but yes, tell us about what it's about. Where is it at? How is it doing?
Yes. So Samba is a digital payment platform for the informal economy, like I said. But right now, we're specifically focusing on the taxi industry. It's not
But really, did you
necessarily,
start it? So tell us a little bit more about how it started.
oh,
Like, how
okay.
did you?
Actually, it
Yeah,
started it started in a hackathon, right?
yeah.
And then we didn't win that hackathon. We didn't even make it to the top 10. So another person would be like, wow, we didn't make it. It's fine. We're gonna leave the idea. But I was like, this thing could actually work because I got to speak to people and just ask people about like, how's your taxi experience? Do you like having to always pay for cash? And then that's when I also realized that there is a serious gap whereby people really don't want to be paying using cash all the time because there's a lot of inconveniences involved when it comes to paying using cash all the time. And then that's
Mm.
why I
And
saw
is
a
this
gap
in
that,
any industry really? Because was it around taxi specifically or for anything?
It was specifically for taxis. And then
Uh-huh.
another gap that I realized was for small businesses and how they
Mhm.
also conduct payments as well. And then when it comes to how they advertise themselves. So
Mhm.
with small businesses, they normally don't have a place where they can advertise their services in an affordable manner and to people that buy from them directly. So with Asambe, our platform has ads that specifically show your small, medium enterprises. And keep in mind, they can be seen by taxi users because those taxi users, after a taxi person gets off the taxi, they go to a tech shop and then they buy something from there. So now the tech shop will be able to advertise the sales that they have through Asambe, and they also increase their foot traffic as well through Asambe as well. And they have a simpler, affordable option to advertise their business. And that's where, yeah, that's where it was also very interesting. And then we had to talk to your difficult taxi owners, your taxi drivers. That was also very interesting because you get to deal with some people are open to innovation, right? And they're always ready and they're like, when is this thing coming? And then you get some people who literally tell you, no, I don't want any of this. I don't want you to change things that are already going on. But then at the same
Yeah.
time, it has also taught me that not everyone will take what you're doing. So you just have to keep trying until you get
Mhm.
the people who want whatever you're offering. Like how I'm
Mhm.
offering Sunday, there is a taxi owner out there who is looking for other ways to earn or to make ways simple for the commuters, right? But then at
Mhm.
the same time, there's also a taxi owner that's like, no, I don't want any of that. So
Mhm.
it's just keeping on going. And it's also doing it scared, hey? Like, I won't say it's easy talking to taxi owners, having to go to these taxi associations. It's not easy, but sometimes I just wake up, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go. Even if it's very scary, I'm gonna go do it and talk to them. Even if they say no, at least I tried and I also got something from them that I can always use.
Mm. I love that, Renee, that phrase, doing it scared. Because again, some people will wait until they don't feel scared anymore, or hoping that there will be a time when they don't feel scared and then they can act. But you're
Yes.
like, no,
And
I'm going to do it scared. Scared or not, I'm doing it. And I also love that you're saying, you know what, even if people say no, that's not going to mean I'm stopping. I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep kind of throwing my seeds out there and seeing what grows. And if I can say, Sambe was the piece that inspired me to say yes to mentoring you when you connected with me on LinkedIn. Because I looked at your profile and I looked at what you were doing and I thought, here is a woman who wants to make a difference in the world. She's just somebody I would be honored to encourage and support in any small way that I can. So yeah, what an inspiring story. I really love it.
thank you.
Yeah. And so, really, there are people out there right now who are probably thinking, hmm, how do I take initiative? I'm not somebody maybe who's taken a lot of initiative before, or how do I do this? How do I get started? So, what would your tips be for somebody who's not used to taking initiative? It's something a bit new for them.
Okay, if it's something very new, I would suggest look at something that excites you, something that makes you like when you see this thing, you're like, ha, I really want to do this. You
Mm-hmm.
start there because it's like the same thing as some people will be like, I don't like reading, you know. So if you don't like reading, there's probably something you're interested in. So try reading about something that you're interested in and then do 10 pages. Eventually, you'll start to like reading and then you'll actually find the right kind of books that you would like, right? And then another thing is in this life, opportunities sometimes don't come to those who wait. So if you wait, you are also feeding yourself with time in a way because you'll keep on waiting, but how long are you going to wait for? Sometimes you need to go out there because you need to also look for these opportunities. And then another thing I would like to mention is that opportunities need to get you ready as well. So you need to be like Another thing, taking initiative in itself means doing things even if you don't understand them. I remember last year in December, I told my mom, like, Ma, I want to get a passport. She was like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm not going anywhere, but I know God will make a plan. I'll go somewhere. I'll need a passport. She was like, okay. And then we went to do a passport. And then the passport just stayed at home, just like that, even though I knew I'm not going anywhere. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to Paris and I have a passport, you know? So it's really simple things. Like, I know I like traveling. I know I didn't have like the funds for it at the time, but I was like, you know what? God is gonna make a plan, you know? So it's those small little things, like just do little things that excite you. If you, like
Hmm.
I said, if you like traveling, just get that passport. It's fine. Just let it stay there. And then just do what you
Mhm.
do. Eventually things will come along. And then I'd like to also mention that prayer has helped me a lot with this as well. So you just keep talking
Mhm.
to God about your dreams and anything you'd like doing you'd like to do. And then another thing is if you're like very scared of people, great way to start is your LinkedIn, messaging people, you know, eventually
Mm.
you would need to be able to go out there and talk to people in person, right? Even starting with one person, that usually does help a lot. Like it really does
Mhm.
help a lot. So just do small actions that will eventually get you to where you want to be. Eventually,
Mm.
you start taking initiative. At first, it's very difficult because rejection does hurt, you know, but once you do it a lot of times, you get used to it. And when it comes, you're just like, okay. And then just because now you're used to it, you'll see just a lot of things just happening. And you're just like, how is this happening? You forget that, oh, remember you used to have so many rejections and now all of this is happening. But
Mm.
as much as sometimes we'll be like, oh, you're so lucky. No, I'm not lucky. I just kept going and going and going. I just never stopped, you know? So just do your
Mhm.
small steps, do things
Mm.
that you like once again. And then once you are done with doing things that you like, you will be comfortable in doing the things that you're like, I'm scared of this, but I'm gonna do it.
Mm. I love
And
that. So that's
that was a
just such
lot.
a it kind of helps me just have a visual and almost like a little movie in my brain about the definition of resilience. That you keep
Yes,
going, you
yes.
keep building, and then it's not like I'm going to be resilient now, but I am gonna wake up one day and think, oh, I used to be scared of doing this, or wow, I don't think I
Hmm.
would have ever done that before. And so that's really encouraging, really. Thank you so much for, yeah, for sharing your story. I think it really does inspire so many other people. And I love your idea of, okay, because I don't really like reading. So I thought, yes, let me find a topic and read that book. So
Yes.
thank you
Like
for that.
you just have to start small. Even if you're scared of that opportunity, apply for it. Like you don't have to have everything figured out. We're humans after
Hmm.
all. Like we learn every day. Like courage will just come later. Like
Hmm.
courage, like just believe in yourself and then everything will make sense later. Like it will really make sense later. Even if right
Hmm.
now it's not making a lot of sense, but eventually, trust me, it'll make sense. You'll be like, all of this is finally adding up. You'll just see it. You might not see it now, but eventually you will. You will.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes.
I
And
love
then
that.
action builds momentum and momentum changes everything. I love it.
Wow, that is true. So speaking of momentum and momentum changing everything, really, can you share what your dreams are for the future? I don't know if they're maybe the same dreams you've always had, or maybe they've even changed since you won the award or since you started Dasambe, or I don't know. But yeah, where's really going next in your head and heart?
In my head and heart really is inspiring many other young girls, even those who
Hmm.
believe like things are so not possible, things are not happening in their lives. It's really making sure that no, you don't have to be defined by anything. Like you can do it, you know.
Hmm.
It's just really inspiring so many people and just doing impactful work. I love building impactful solutions. So that's definitely something I'm going to be continuing on doing because South Africa and Africa as a whole, we need to be solving our own problems. And once we start doing that, we'll also be in a better place. So that's what I'll be doing, continuing to build impactful solutions and then just giving back to the community because it's one of the things I really, really love. Giving back to the community as well. So it's one thing I'll also be continuing with doing all the time. At first, I used to dream and maybe put timelines in my dreams and be like, in 5 years, I'll do this, in 5 years, or like 3 years. But then I realized that um, God doesn't work on our own timelines. I used to be like, I'll travel maybe in like 5 years. Like God was like, no, you're gonna do it now, you know? So just keep dreaming. No matter how
Hmm.
expensive it is, keep dreaming. God can fund it. Like
How
He can fund
expensive.
it. Yes. Even
Love
if
that,
like
really.
even if it's you imagining yourself building something in Mars, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be possible at the end of the day.
I love
Again,
that. I love your
it
spirit
doesn't
of
make sense
possibility.
now. Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't make sense now, but eventually it will make sense.
Hmm. Thank you, really. Oh, I love that.
Mm,
And I
same
love
here.
again just your heart of I want to give back, I want to help others. And especially highlighting that even in the world of tech, where people used to typically think it's all about tech, you've highlighted how much it is also about people, that you can't separate relationships and people and tech. So it's wonderful to see you growing in all of those areas. But once again, thank you so much for joining us. I really do appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time and I completely respect your journey and can't wait to see how it goes in Paris later on this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. M.